Welcome to Blocks and Talks, the podcast that brings you everything you need to know about LEGO. From covering past, present, and future LEGO sets to interviews with notable community members, our show covers it all. All right, here we go. Part 7, essentially the finale of the LEGO Pirates series. Here we are, fast forwarded all the way to 2009, and I'm once again joined by James. How are you doing, James?
Fantastic today. Hope you are well. Doing great as well.
Yeah, I'm starting to miss it because it was a great couple weeks working on this, and to see it all come to a close I'm gonna miss it. It was a really fun journey learning about like vintage LEGO and how this like really set the way for modern sets to go.
I couldn't agree more. It's one of the most defined themes in the LEGO catalog.
And here we go in a more modern era now, 2009. Over a decade later, we finally get to see a wave of pirates. And to kick it off, we got 6239 Cannon Battle. 45 pieces, 2 minifigures, retailed for $6, set you around 13 cents price per piece. Resells around $13 used and $26 new.
Cool. Yeah, this is a great small little set. It's once again right back to the roots where you had a small little build, now using tan colored sand beaches for base plates instead of the classic yellow. We got a new pirate being in green and white stripes, which is something we haven't seen before. The green bandana. And as you can see in this image, the red coats are back with brand new printing on their torso and new Shako printing. The hats they wear actually have printing on them as well. It's a glorious new update to that minifigure.
Yeah, everything about this is reminiscent of the old days, but it also has a modern touch to it. Like this just looks so perfect for such a tiny set. You got, like you said, the new sand, got some like foliage, and then the stone wall that can actually break apart with the pirate hiding behind. Looks like he's better armed with a musket this time. He's holding a map. And the red coat has an updated cannon. Like it's not just like a single cannon on the mount. It also has like a wheel mount with it to like stabilize. And they added a bit more accuracy because even the red coat, he has like a pole with like the igniter. I'm not sure if there's a name for it. Just to add some realism that like you got to ignite the gunpowder to blow this thing. So they'll go definitely like modernize this thing. It still like feels old OG with like the tiny little set to start off, but you can tell that like they've learned a lot in between the years.
It's fantastic. And I did want to mention, this is the first time too, we're getting the cannon in this new gunmetal gray color, which looks very metallic, looks more metal and real compared to the classic dark gray we got previously.
Yeah, it looks great. And it actually shoots this time. So this time there's none of that like inconsistency where one shot and one didn't. All of them shoot now.
Mm-hmm.
And next up is actually a pretty neat little set. 6240 Kraken Attackin'. 78 pieces, 2 minifigures, retail for $10, set you around 13 cent price per piece. Resale is around $15 used and $45 new.
This set is one of the most loved and named sets. Like the name itself is definitely up there for one of the best names for a LEGO set. It's a very fun name to say, Kraken Attackin'. You get the Kraken, quote unquote. It's just an octopus piece, nothing fancy, but it's in dark red. I believe this might be the first time, no confirmation on that. He had chests with some jewel pieces instead of the classic chrome gold coins, so now kind of switching it up a little bit. You get a crow's nest with a small mast, a parrot now using that marbling kind of way LEGO does things now. Instead of printing, it's all marbling for the parrots to make them look more natural. And that way every parrot you get is slightly different compared to the other one. You have 2 pirates, of course, a small raft. Once again, it just feels like an old-timey set and using newer pieces.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And the raft looks a little modernized too. It's like a lot more well-rounded and cut off. There's not really like rough edges anywhere. Or there are rough edges in the way that a raft should be, but not in the way like inefficient LEGO building techniques are. And I think this...
I just love...
Oh, yes. Keep going.
I do apologize. I just wanted to point out, I just love the fact that the parrot has a little perch to sit on the raft. I think it's funny.
Yeah, pirates got to look out for everyone in the crew. And I think, as a correction, I think the octopus did show up just a bit earlier. I think in the Aqua Raiders or whatever theme that was in
Mm,
2006. I think there was an octopus, or the
you're
Atlantis
right about
sets.
that.
I think that's when it made its debut.
You're right about that. Yeah, that's
And
my bad.
no worries. And 6241 Loot Island, 142 pieces, 3 minifigures, $20 retail, put you around 14 cents price per piece, which is around $30 used today and $90 new.
I can't believe this set never really went up in value. It has an exclusive molded base plate, exclusive to this set. We've never seen that base plate used again. And you have a small little shack with a little prison looking thing with a chest of storage. You got the skull on the front with some yellow jewels for eyes, a small pirate catapult. We're seeing for the first time that dark blue rowboat for the red coats, which is just a beautiful color to choose from. Got the cannon on it, which is it's definitely funny. Like we mentioned in previous episodes, that boat would have sunk a long time ago with a heavy cannon on it. You also got a little campfire with a fish, and you got a little bit of a castaway figure at the top, which is a cool little inclusion. And of course, you got the alligator.
Yeah, this is a cool set. Like you said, I'm surprised. It has a lot of unique pieces. Like the base plate is like a textured one. It's like a raised sand mountain with a tinier raised sand mountain on top of it. And then on top of that, it has a couple studs for you to build on. And there you got like a brick built, almost like a temple thing. And this time they don't use brick built skulls. It's like a one piece molded one. So it looks like a big skull with some golden jewels as eyes. Little treasure chest hiding behind like a prison bar. Looks like the pirates defending it, like you said. Castaway, red coat. And something I like is that there's still references to the originals. Like Lego is kind of building continuity here with the flags. You got the 2x4 plates with clips with the updated Jolly Roger. Looks a lot more menacing. But the red coat one, it's still the same. You got like the crossed cannons with the crown on top behind the red and white stripes.
It's this, like I said, this, and every set we talk about in this year is just a love letter to classic pirate fans. It's fantastic.
Yep. And next up is actually probably one of my more favorite sets due to nostalgia. I remember seeing this back in the old Lego magazines. 6242 Soldier's Fort. 367 pieces, 6 minifigures, $50 retail, 13-cent price per piece roughly. Resells around 120 used and 280 new.
It's a great little dock. I don't agree with it being named a fort. I think the only good fort we've gotten is El Dorado Fortress because it's actually enclosed. This is a dock, but they call it a fort to make it sound better. It's kind of like the Lion Knight's castle being called a castle when really it's a keep within a castle. But anyway, it's a great set. You got a small little prison. It's probably the most realistic sized prison we've gotten in Lego Pirates. It has jail cell bars and the jail cell door. There's a cannon on top, which just really reminds me of Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean. It just reminiscence that very similarly. You got a wanted poster for not Redbeard this time. I do want to make that very clear. This is Captain Brickbeard. He's a brand new pirate captain. And you got his little wanted poster on the side. You got the Admiral figure and a couple red coats, a winch with a treasure chest with some gold coins attached to it, a rowboat, crocodile, some TNT dynamite, which I thought was pretty funny. We get the classic monkey back. What's not to love?
Yeah, this set is reminiscent of like a seaside defense. You got like the blue base plate with like arches to represent like a structure to build on top of the water with like the wooden planks on top of that. And then it's like reminiscent of the old days. You got some tan and then some white piece, a lot of white. And some of the white looks like unique printed pieces where it has like the exposed brick underneath showing, which is always cool. Got a couple more of those like red coat flags lying around. Always great. Like you said, they got a bit more humane and gave a bigger jail. And funny enough, in the promo art, it looks like the monkey is finally chosen a side and is actually helping the prisoner out of the jail cell in exchange for a banana. Always cool to see updated printing. And Brickbeard, yeah, new villain. So it's not like, what I like is that it's very reminiscent of the old days. Like a lot of nods to it, the styling, even like the brick pieces, like to have like the exposed like brick printing on the white is really good, but it's not one-to-one exact because, you know, the printing's different. On the figures, you got a new pirate faction to fight, or yeah, new bad guys. Like, it's cool.
I hate to ruin the mood, but sadly, those brick designs on those panels are actually stickers.
Oh
That's one
no.
downgrade.
Okay,
Yeah,
not
it's
quite.
one downgrade with this wave.
All right. So almost perfect, but it's still nice that they even considered it and gave a nod back to the old days. And next up is the pirate ship itself, 6243 Brickbeard's Bounty. 592 pieces, 8 minifigures, retails for $100, around 17 cents price per piece. Resells around 200 used and 330 new.
This was one, like I said, this just like this whole wave. It's a love letter to classic pirates. You cannot look at this ship and not think of the classic Black Seas Barracuda with those red and white striped sails. This time with some skeleton crossbones printed on them. You got the winch, the monkey, the parrot, crew. You have using the new mermaid piece, an actual piece this time compared to the vintage ones where they had to actually, try to build a mermaid out of bricks. Here they just have the piece available. You get the man-eating shark, which was, I believe, this was the first time we've seen this man-eating shark. It did come in the Lego Agents line and a few others at the time, and nowadays it's still a piece used, but I believe this is the first one. You have the dark blue rowboat with white oars. I just like that colorway. It looks really nice. It looks very royal, if you will. And the figures are fantastic. You get the plank, you get the Admiral's daughter. It's a good set.
Yeah, I think it's pretty true to the old days. Like if you compare this to the old ones, generally what is included is about the same. It's just like using modern bricks and techniques to smooth out little edges. Interestingly enough, they don't use a winch piece anymore. It looks like they use a static Technic piece with a chain, so the thing doesn't really move on its own anymore. Outside of that, yeah, it's pretty similar to old days. Like I said, I think the main thing about this is keep it similar to the past, add a touch of flair to it, and modernize it.
I will say, and we're going to talk about this more. This is during the brittle brown days, and this set is a disaster to own nowadays because all those brown pieces can break. The dark red is also notorious for breaking, which that's the entire back cabin. It's a harder set to get in good condition.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Brittle Brown and Republic Red is like a nightmare of a combo. Especially for resale, having to like take it apart and rebuild it. Good luck. And next up we got 6253 Shipwreck Hideout. 310 pieces, 6 minifigures, retails for around $40, set you around 13 cents price per piece. Resales around $100 used and 190 new.
This set once again is using classic techniques with modern bricks. You got the shipwreck on the side there, but now using those brand new sloped elements to really give you that hull look. You got a skeleton, a couple traps there, looks like with that sword. You have the classic rope bridge now in tan, which is a nice color to get. You get a small mast on the very side and a crow's nest to look out of. A pirate flag, Captain Brickbeard himself with a cannon, and 2 redcoat soldiers trying to raid his base, which is it's a rather small structure on the left-hand side there, but it has a table inside, a goblet. It makes do for what it has.
Yeah, I don't know. I find this set a little strange because on the base, like you said, you got the hole facing one way, and then it's like slammed in between a mountain, which is this time brick built, using lots of like sloped pieces to create texture and like different angles. But on top of that, it looks like the cabin, but it's facing a completely different way, which doesn't seem feasible to be able to, turn around a cabin like that. And then over to the right, you got like I think the outlook or something like that. What is it called? The thing where the guys...
Crow's nest.
Yes, crow's nest. Like somehow it's all the way in the back there. Like it's meant to be creative and don't think too deep about it like I am, but unfortunately I thought too deep about it and it doesn't quite make sense.
It's a fair point. It's not one of the most remembered sets. It's there, it's good. It has its issues as you kind of stated, and yeah, I don't even know if I ever really paid attention to it that much, but it's there. It's not talked about a lot.
Yeah, and that pretty much wraps up like the real sets. Everything after that is like poly bags and little side things. We'll just give a touch on them. 6299 Pirates Advent Calendar. Just an advent calendar, 148 pieces, 8 minifigures. It says it had a limited retail release. I'm guessing that just means around Christmas time. Resales around 40 used, 85 new. And it looks pretty simple. It's just a bunch of figures, it looks like.
it's nice that we got these figures maybe more widely available in an Advent calendar. But yeah, nothing too much to talk about.
Yeah, just Brickbeard, crewmate, some crewmates, mermaid, castaway, redcoats. Nothing too crazy. Almost just like a parts pack. And then after that, we got A396 Soldier's Arsenal, 17 pieces, one minifigure, retail for $3.50, about 20 cents price per piece. Resale is $10 used, $15 new. Very simple, just singular red coat. He has like a small little, really small, like 2x4 base rack of weapons. There's like a flintlock pistol, a musket, a saber, and a backpack. Very easy.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a perfect set to buy like 10 of and just get a decent red coat army.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like for how much is it? $3.50 at the time? Yeah, can't go wrong with it. And to match it, you got A397 Pirate Survival, 16 pieces, one minifigure, also $3.50, around 20 cents price per piece again. Resales actually a lot less, $5 new, $5 used, 15 new. And it's just a pirate version. It's just a standard pirate. He's wearing like a tattered brown vest. You can see his like beer belly underneath and all. Wearing the green rag on his head. It looks like he's just trying to cook a fish on a fire, a really primitive fire. He's got a basket with a pickaxe and a flintlock pistol. Got a red and green jewel and a red Lego snake.
Yeah, simple little cute set. It's a great accessory to have as a kid.
Yeah, and the last one is 852747 Pirates Battle Pack. This time they directly called a battle pack. 37 pieces, 4 minifigures, $15 retail, which is around 40 cent price per piece. Resale is $40 used and $85 new. It was like around that era where it came in these like plastic packaging. It just came with a couple parts and a couple minifigures. Looks like you get Brickbeard and the Admiral or Captain. One standard pirate, one standard redcoat, a monkey, a chest with some jewels, a parrot, and one flag for each faction, respectively.
It's a nice simple set. I will say once again, they're kind of failing with these pirate battle packs because you get Captain Brickbeard and you get the Admiral, which, don't be wrong, are very nice figures to get at this price point, but it's not really a battle pack because you can only have one of those. The pirate crew member and the soldier are actually the exact same figures we saw in those cheaper sets we just took a look at. It's a very interesting battle pack. It's there. It's nice. But I can't imagine too many people buying a lot of these.
Yeah. So it was an overall pretty solid year. Like the actual sets themselves were, they like we said, good praise for them. They did its job, served its duty well. The little sets, they're kind of whatever. And this brings us to actually one of the coolest sets of modern pirates. In 2010, in the Lego, Creator sub-theme, they released a standalone pirate ship. It isn't directly associated with the Pirates theme. It is completely on its own. It is 10210 Imperial Flagship. That is right, Imperial Flagship, just like the old one, except this one is way different. It retailed for around $180, came with 9 minifigures, 1,664 pieces. Resale value today is actually quite insane. It is, I'm just trying to quickly scroll it. Here it is. It is around $920 used and $1,200 new. And James, I know you love this set and own it yourself, so I'll give you the full honors on this one.
I have it, I'm looking at it right in front of me right now. It is one of the most beautiful Lego pirate sets ever created. It's the most realistic ship Lego's ever done. It has, full set of sails, not too fantasy with like red and white, red and blue, or white and blue stripes. It's just plain white sails with some threading detail. You get the sawnose shark as a figurehead, which is a very menacing figurehead. We've never gotten a shark before like that. You got the full detail cabin. This is the first time we've gotten a ship with a full top deck and a full bottom deck. That's right, a full gun deck with 8 gun ports total, 4 per side. You got a kitchen, a prison cell on the other side. You get a working anchor winch that you can actually turn and lower and raise the anchor. There's a full detailed cabin with an organ inside, similar to what Davy Jones had in Pirates of the Caribbean. And oh man, I don't even know how to really describe details in this set. It's overwhelmingly amazing. It's just one of those sets. If you love pirates, you need to own it. And if you don't love pirates, I still feel like you need to try to at least see it once in your life. It's huge. It's the biggest ship we've ever gotten, using 6 hull pieces total, and it's just fantastic. I can't describe it enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it is the peak of modern Lego. Like, it has tons of like snot techniques, side techniques, like a mixture of studs on the sides and tiles. The sides have like studs to represent like metal rivets, little cheese slopes to show texture. You got just everything here, like so many different textures to really show like the organic feel that the ship was built together with actual parts and not like a manufactured factory thing. The sail pieces are fantastic, like you said, full set. The top looks great. Everything is fully fleshed out. Like there's like with the previous sets, there were like tons of gaps and stuff for like cannons to fit and swivel and all that. But here, it doesn't hold back. Like everything here is fully detailed, fully built out from the top of the steering wheel all the way down to like the deck, the bottom deck, everything. Like this thing is really expensive on resale, but it commands the price well. Like there's good reason behind it.
It's incredible. Now, and also I really love the use of that dark brown color scheme for the hull. It gives it more of a kind of like that dark blue rowboat. It gives it that royal look. It feels expensive in universe. It doesn't feel like it's just using cheap wood. Like this is the finest wood the Royal Navy could use. It's just, oh man, I don't know how to describe it enough. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I guess like as a standalone, since it was part of like a more premium creator line, that's where Lego's able to flex its budget on this. So one can only hope that in the future, Lego could make something Titanic-esque with this and make it like even more.
I really hope so. And when this set released in 2010, I was 10 years old. And I remember looking at this thing in the catalog and just always just glued to it. I looked at that image easily for days on end. I never ended up getting it, sadly. It was $180. It was too expensive for my family to get for Christmas. But I ended up getting it back in 2016, and it's just been one of my greatest achievements. I love that ship so much.
Oh yeah, for sure. 180 is nothing to sneeze at, especially if we consider the time. 2010, like nowadays, that's like kind of whatever, that's just a premium Star Wars set. But at the time, like 180 is still a lot to ask for a Lego set. Lego still wasn't like established as like a really respectable, like adult oriented thing. It was still like a kid's toy. So to ask 180 for a kid's pirate ship, essentially, was like, that's a huge asking price.
I would love to go back in time and just buy like 3 or 4 of these nowadays and get like a whole fleet. It's one of those sets, like I said, you need to see this in person. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that brings us down to the final year there was a Lego Pirates line. 2015. Here we are, the very end. First up, we got 40158 Pirates chess set, 857 pieces, 20 minifigures, retailed for $60, around 7 cents price per piece. Resale is around $70 used, $100 new. Not much to say. It is that time when Lego built like a bunch of chess sets. It is just a chess set with the Pirates theme. That's all. That's pretty much all it is.
I will say one thing is nice about this, and it's the ultimate battle pack. You got a ton of blue coat soldiers, and yes, the blue coats are back this year, just like the red coats in 2009. Blue coats get their nice, detailed, updated printing. And yeah, you get a ton of blue coats in this set, a ton of pirates. It's a nice, simple battle pack.
Yeah, if anything, I call it a super pack with how much you get. 20 minifigures. Like, sheesh.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, and onto the normal sets. We got 70409 Shipwreck Defense, 84 pieces, 2 minifigures, $13 retail, 15 cent price per piece, around $25 used and $40 new.
This is a cute small set. It nowadays uses these modern parts that makes it look like an actual ship. No longer we gain suggestions. This is a full looking ship. Now, take for granted the fact that it's very tiny and there's no ship that's actually this small. So just imagine it being bigger than it actually is, but it looks good for what it is. It comes with a cannon, a pirate soldier, now using the new bandana piece. It's a brand new mold altogether. It uses it in white here. A small campfire. Like I said, the shipwreck suggestion with a crow's nest. A blue coat soldier, now representing with white epaulets instead of red. Interesting change for LEGO to change the epaulet color, but I like it. It's different. I think I still prefer the red, but it's a nice little set.
Yes, really standard. Looks nice. Like you said, modern techniques to show off like a broken ship versus a cannon. Does the job well. And then we got 70410 Soldiers Outpost, 164 pieces, 3 minifigures, $20 retail, 12-cent price per piece, around $60 used, and strangely enough, it says $50 new, probably just like one rogue listing.
Yeah, it has to be an error. I do like this set. It's kind of a remake of Saber Island we got back in '89 to an extent. It's not obviously the same thing at all, but it's the suggestion. It's a small blue coat outpost. You get a raft using, funny enough, a cloth piece as the sail. It's actually a cape used for the Witch King figure we got from the LEGO The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies set. Nice piece usage there, I will say. A black octopus, 2 blue coat soldiers. One's technically a sergeant, and a pirate. And like I said, decently nice outpost. I love that they're using these masonry bricks to finally give us, instead of prints, instead of stickers, now we're getting actual built versions of that red brick kind of falling apart.
Yeah, it looks really good. And like before in like older years of this theme, like it used like singular molded parts, but here it relies on a lot like triangular pieces, cheese slopes, masonry bricks, like you said, to just like represent that this is an older structure. It's built around natural rock, so there's crumbling, there's details. Looks great. And something interesting to note is that like the blue coat's flag is updated here. It's not like the old one. This time it's like a blue flag with a white stripe. Looks like some gold outlines on the edges of the like the plus sign, the cross in the middle, and then you got, I don't remember what the name is. It's like the French logo in the middle. It almost looks like a saint. Fleur-de-lis. Yeah. Nice little update there. And of course, what is a pirate's theme without treasure? 70411 Treasure Island, 181 pieces, 3 minifigures, $20 retail, put you around 11 cents price per piece. Resale is around 50 used and 100 new.
This is going back to the vintage stuff where we have the brick built skull here using these, more modern slope bricks, which just look fantastic. I love the little suggestion of a gold tooth there. You can actually open that skull front by leaning on that palm tree. The suggestion is that a minifigure would give up looking for the treasure, take a break, take a nap, and leaning on that palm tree, and it would actually open the skull head. It's a great little detail. It's fun. You have a cannon at the top, a small little pier or dock on the side, and yeah, you get 2 pirates. Technically, one of them is the pirate queen figure, I believe. You get the new style alligator, which was introduced in one of the Swamp Police city sets. We get him here, and a blue coat soldier.
In the dreaded stud shooter, they substitute on the boat a stud shooter, the bane of every Star Wars fan's existence. Can't forget that.
It is there, it is loud, and it is very proud of itself, and It has no reason to. It's an interesting piece, and it's not out of place entirely. There's small cannons called swivel guns that did exist during that time period, and they were kind of that size cannon, and it's there. It just doesn't work, in my opinion. It's a nice suggestion. It's a nice way to get a play feature, but it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, we'll let it go this time though. And then we got 70412 Soldiers Fort, 234 pieces, 5 minifigures, $30 retail, around 13 cents price per piece, $80 used, and 130 new.
It's a weaker version of the previous one from 2009 with the red coats. I like that they're trying to do more natural angles instead of just 90-degree right angles. But it's just a weaker version. You got the small port, a cannon, a palm tree, a prison cell at the bottom. There's a small little alleyway boats can travel through, a crane winch system, a small little balcony room, a top part with, once again, another stud shooter, just like there's actually another stud shooter on the rowboat. And you got 2 pirate figures, a blue coat soldier, the governor's daughter, and the governor figure, which actually has a name being Governor Hacienda. Um, it's there. I do like that you get the nice blue coat flag in the set, but there's nothing really special about it.
Yeah, like you said, it feels like an inferior version of the previous like dock fortress thingy. Not much to say really. It's just a really tiny brick built thing. The minifigures are great though, so I think getting it for the figures can't go wrong with it.
It's the only set you got Governor Hacienda and the governor's daughter in, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we got on every year, you gotta have the pirate ship, 70413, the brick bounty, 745 pieces, 7 minifigures, $100 retail, 13 cents price per piece about, $200 used, and about 255 new.
It's a weaker version of the Brickbeard's bounty, in my personal opinion. I will say I wanted to point this out because I do believe, even if the name is pretty unoriginal, instead of Brickbeard's bounty, it's the Brick Bounty. I got to point it out because it was someone's idea. Lego ran a contest to see what would be the name of this ship. But they didn't show pictures of it. They just said, "Hey, name the ship for the upcoming Pirate Wave." And I guess someone won with the Brick Bounty. It's a little bit unoriginal, but I do want to give credit where it's due. But yeah, so it's a little bit of an inferior version. You get the 2 blue coat soldiers. One's technically a sergeant. You get the admiral figure using that new wig piece, which was actually exclusive to the Revolutionary War soldier we saw in the CMF series, which is nice to get in a pirate set. And I hope we get some of those, maybe a future set. We get 2 pirate crew members. First mate. One of them looks like to be a cook, and you get Captain Redbeard back. Not Captain Brickbeard this time. It is Redbeard. A saw-nosed shark, a rat, treasure chest, blue rowboat. The boat itself uses plain red instead of maroon as the cabin. It has the crossed swords and skull on the front of the sails, which are red and white again. Crow's nest. Overall, like I said, it's kind of a weaker version of the Brickbeard's bounty.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, there's not really a deck this time. It's exposed underneath. I feel like there's too much open space in the middle. And then on like the top where the steering is, I feel like there could be more. Like, I know there's a cannon there, but I feel like there's some more details missing. Like, it's a good set, but I think it could just use a little more just to push it a bit over the edge.
Right. And I do agree. I do like that there's a cannon in the back again, similar to the Brickbeard's bounty. I will say also, if you're looking at, there's the classic lattice window in the back. However, you get that smaller window that uses a clearback sticker to represent lattice, and that's just kind of lazy, and at least the way I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah, I think like at least should be consistent. Like if you're gonna have it for one window, just do it for the other. And yeah, that would wrap everything up, except the very, very last set, which is a gift with purchase. 5003082. Classic pirate minifigure, 24 pieces, 1 minifigure. Resells for around 15 used and $20 new. Very, very simple. Just tan base plate, barrel with a sword, super simple palm tree, pirate chillin', some golds around him, and looks like a shark's about to attack him.
This was actually a little bit controversial, I remember, because so Lego did 3 of these promotions. They had one called Classic Castle minifigure, which released an identical modern take on the classic Lion Knight Crusader, which of course we see a modern revamped version with the castle last year, but it's almost identical printing. Everything's the same, just uses the new light bluish gray instead of old light gray. And it was a small little remake of a classic Crusader set. Then they also had one for classic space using the classic white astronaut. Of course, not using the new mold that Benny introduced in 2015. They weren't quite ready for that yet. But it uses a bicycle helmet. But it gave you a little robot side build. So the fact that those were 2 classic remakes, them calling this a classic pirate minifigure was a little bit weird because it's not a classic pirate minifigure. It's exclusive torso, which I do appreciate. And you get the classic gold chrome coins, the gold bar, but there's nothing really classic about it.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the entire Pirate series. You know, James, it's been a really fun ride with you all these weeks. Really fun, like just digging through all this, learning a lot. Like I'm sure the viewers definitely enjoyed it, as I think this is our best series yet. So really just want to say thank you for joining us every weekend. Yeah, just appreciate it.
I just want to say thank you for inviting me. Pirates is one of my favorite themes Lego's ever created. It's so original, it's so unique, and the time period is very interesting to learn about in real history. So to get Lego sets kind of roughly based on it it's great and collectible in my opinion. I did have one last question for you, and is now after looking after all these waves, which is your favorite Imperial faction? Is it the Blue Coats, Red Coats, or the Spanish Armada?
I'm going to give it to the Redcoats just because they had way more sets, including that Imperial flagship from 2010. So I think they just win clear cut. I think they got too much favorite on the end.
I do agree with them getting better sets. I'm a Blue Coat fan at heart, and hopefully this new Outrider Fortress is going to one up the Redcoats once and for all.
Yeah, and like we've alluded to a couple times, although the history of the Pirates series has ended here, that doesn't mean Pirates as a discussion hasn't. Because if you haven't heard, in about a month from now, LEGO is going to be releasing the El Dorado Fortress remake, which is essentially like the Lion's Knight Castle remake, except for Pirates. Super, super excited. Can't wait to talk about it with James. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Really excited to see how they revamp in the most modern version of LEGO.
I cannot wait to talk about it with you as well.
Yeah, so I hope everyone really enjoyed that episode and this series in general. Thank you for listening through everything. Keep your eye out for the next History Of, because we have that brewing in the works. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at Blocks and Talks to keep an eye out for that. We also made a YouTube channel, Blocks and Talks. We'll be uploading soon. And James, do you have anything you want to share?
I guess I mentioned before, I do have an Instagram account in all lowercase, no spaces, no underscore, Jaws Brickworld. Feel free to follow me. I do pictures of classic space in general, castle, and pirates. I alternate week by week, and I'd be excited to have you there as well.
Yeah. So thanks again, James. Look forward to keeping in touch soon because El Dorado is looming on the horizon.